Before the days of esports, large-scale video game competitions were few and far between. When they did happen, they were kind of a big deal. Today, you can re-experience the magic of old-school video game competitions by hunting down incredibly expensive competition cartridges. Or you can just play them on a ROM. Most of them. Again, the physical cartridges are just a little too expensive, so I don't have any of those to show you. But on August 13th, 2016, you can come out to the Missouri Game Convention and play some physically for yourself. So let's take a look at a few of those and see what they're all about. The Nintendo World Championships 1990 cartridge, or the NWC cartridge, is one of the most famed collectible items amongst retro gamers. It's what a lot of retro collectors call the holy grail of NES collecting. The more common gray cartridge has gone for upwards of $10,000 on the open market. And the gold cartridge, which is even rarer, has gone for over $100,000. The gray cartridge was given away as a prize to approximately 90 finalists of the 1990 competition. And only 26 copies of the gold cartridge were created and given as prizes through Nintendo Power. Needless to say, the best way to play this game is on emulation. But if you're really interested in the authentic experience, you can get a reproduction copy for about $75. The game takes you through a time challenge where you must collect 50 coins in Super Mario Bros., race through 3 segments in Rad Racer, and rack up as many points as possible in Tetris. I've linked a GameFAQs article below on some strategies to get the best possible point totals. I didn't do very well on my runs, but it's still fun to try. In 1991, Nintendo held another contest, but this time it was focused on college kids. Students from around 60 different schools across the United States were able to compete for a top prize of a trip to Orlando, Florida to compete in the finals. That's a good enough prize for me. There is only one known original cartridge in existence, which was found by a man named Rob Walters in 2006 at a garage sale. It's since been sold twice. If you want to play this game, you're going to have to buy a reproduction card that goes for about $95. I searched online for a ROM, but I was unable to find one. All the footage you'll see is from the original games rather than the competition card. When the competition starts, players' first task is to collect 25 coins in Super Mario Bros. 3. Next, you must rack up 100,000 points in Pinbot. Lastly, you must gather as many points as possible in Dr. Mario before the time runs out. A strategy I learned when playing this at a small competition at Game Trader 2 in St. Charles is to rack up as many points as possible in Super Mario Bros. 3 before moving on to Pinbot. Now, you can't stay in Super Mario Bros. 3. You have to continue on and play Pinbot and Dr. Mario, so you have to keep your eye on the time. But at the end of, or near the end of, the first level in Super Mario Bros. 3, or even in the second stage where the Goombas fall out of the pipes, you can start jumping on top of enemies like Koopa Paratroopas or the Goombas I just mentioned over and over and over again to rack up points. If you want to see an expert run using this method, check out Mega Retroman's run here. Nintendo's 1994 competition was dubbed PowerFest 94. It had its own competition cartridge that was only used in the preliminary rounds. It featured the first level of Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, the first race in Super Mario Kart, and a home run derby in Ken Griffey Jr. Presents Major League Baseball. The finals introduced players to their first look at the not yet released Donkey Kong Country. The Donkey Kong Country competition cart was used a year later in the Blockbuster World Championships. After the Blockbuster contest, Nintendo sold the DKC competition carts through Nintendo's Super Power Supplies catalog, and only a handful exist. In the game, you pretty much play a mapless version of Donkey Kong Country and try to attain a high score. You can score points by killing enemies, collecting bananas, collecting items, finding secret areas, and completing levels. There are only 5 minutes to play, and the game only uses several levels from the commercial release. Without freezing the timer or using cheats, it may be close to impossible to complete the entire game. A year after Nintendo's PowerFest 94, Blockbuster held the second version of their own contest. Contestants from all over the world competed on either the Super Nintendo or the Genesis, depending on their preference. Super Nintendo players played using the Donkey Kong Country competition cart that we talked about before, and Genesis players played the Blockbuster World Championships 2 cart, developed by Acclaim. The cartridge featured NBA Jam and Judge Dredd. That's a real interesting combination of games. There are only a small handful of known cartridges to exist because Acclaim destroyed them after the contest, so getting your hands on one will be near impossible, and if you do get one, it's going to come at a very high cost. So your best bet is emulation, or you could come to that Missouri Game Convention and play one there. There are 2 games, NBA Jam Tournament Edition and Judge Dredd, as I mentioned earlier. In NBA Jam, you get points based on sinking baskets, 3-pointers, and winning the game. I'm terrible at NBA Jam, so I was unable to win the game in all the times that I tried playing. For Judge Dredd, you just have to rack up as many points as possible in the time limit available to you. I haven't been able to find many good strategies on this online, so my guess is to just play well. Sink as many baskets as you can in NBA Jam, and when you get to Judge Dredd, don't die, and kill a bunch of stuff. So those are the 4 competition carts that I have been informed will be at the Missouri Game Con on August 13th, 2016. If you're watching this video after that date, I'm sorry. We'll probably have another one next year if this one goes well. So maybe I'll update the description with the next convention. That'd be pretty cool. I'm going to be there. Gaming Rebellion's going to be there in full force. We're going to have most of the admins on site to answer questions, hand out stuff if we have stuff. I don't know if we have stuff yet. We'll figure it out. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys should come out to the St. Louis area Missouri Game Convention on August 13th, 2016. And I will see you there. Later! Waiting for the camera to stop doing this. Camera's doing this. Gotta stop doing that. $1,000. Colleged. No, college.